to the Inner Beauty School podcast. I'm so happy that you are spending a little time with me today. We are just going to jump right into it. Last week was a crazy week for me. I had so many different things going on and so many really cool things starting to come together for me and for my business and for some of my goals really starting to solidify and come to reality. Things that I've been writing down and visioning and imagining and aligning with and becoming were really shown and starting to actually manifest in the world. And so it was a really great week for me. But I also had to, and I didn't have to, I chose to, got to be careful with my words. That's part of what we're going to talk about today. I chose to really take on a little bit more than I typically do in a couple of different areas. And it was a lot, but it was amazing. It was like kind of that mix of when I feel like I went a little too hard maybe, but at the same time, I was glad that I did it. And it's not an every week type of thing. It's not an everyday type of thing that I do. I'm typically very careful with how I manage my energy and my time and all of these things. And I really build in recharge time and time to be with my family and time to do the things that I want to do and whatever. And so last week, it was just kind of a little bit out of balance of how I normally do it, but also I was doing some new things that took maybe a little bit more energy and like even emotionally. So it was a big week. And Sunday, I hit a wall. And when I say I hit a wall, I mean, I hit a wall and I literally felt nauseous. I felt exhausted. Like I felt on the verge of like exhaustion. And so I was able to take most of the day to just kind of like chill. I took a salt water bath. I actually even got to take a little bit of I don't know if I'd call it a nap, but a little rest in the afternoon. My son was in the bed with me. I literally just gave him an iPad and said, Mommy needs to take a minute. And so he was playing the iPad, and I tried to sleep. I didn't really get to sleep, but that's mom life sometimes. So it was what it was. But then today I feel back on track and like I've rested. I'm going to treat myself a little bit and make sure that I'm giving myself the time to recharge. So that's just an invitation for you to also look at yourself and where there might be areas that feel a little bit out of balance. I think it's really good to check in with ourselves, with what our life is looking like, and see where we might be a little bit out of balance, and then putting back in the recharge, or where we might need to balance things back out a little bit. So that's just what's been going on for me, what's been coming up for me, and then a little bit of a call to you to check in with your life, check in with your weeks, check in with what's going on. Do you need to ask for help in certain areas, or do you just need to take a little recharge and reset for yourself? What does it look like for you? So tune in and check in and let me know. Okay, today I said we need to be careful with our words. Well, did you know that your word is your wand, your magic wand? Yes, that is what I'm saying. Okay, so have you heard of Florence Scovel Shinn, aka Flosco? If you have not, you need to immediately go to Amazon and type in Florence Scovel Shinn and get whatever book you are drawn to. I actually would recommend the complete works. That's what I have here. That's it's all of it. It's a pretty thick book, and you can't see this on the audio, but on the video version of this, you can see that pretty much I have highlighted quite a bit, let me see, of, I mean, just about every page has some kind of highlight on it, because this book is gold. And one of the chapters is, this is what I want to talk about with you today. It's titled, Your Word is Your Wand. I'm going to read to you just this first sentence. Man's word is his wand filled with magic and power. And so the idea here is that our words are so powerful. Our words and our thoughts and our feelings and emotions, but typically our words lead to those thoughts and feelings and emotions. They create our life. They create our reality. They create what we're living. So it's super important to really be very, very careful with your words, with what you're speaking into existence, with what you are saying to others, with your every single day language. You need, yes, you need to check in. Well, you don't need to do anything, but if you want to create something new, if you want to get to your goals, if you want to, whatever it is, if you want to make any changes in your life, you have got to check in with how you are speaking all the time. And this is not, last week I did an episode, or 2 weeks ago I did an episode on your self-talk. And it's along those same lines, but I'm getting a little bit more specific, because what I'm saying is that you literally speak your world, your life into existence. And you can look at different ways that you've actually done that in your life. Look at different ways that you have said something that ended up happening in your life. How many, the things that we say over and over and over again, they happen. They are created in our life. So if we're constantly saying how miserable we are and how much stuff sucks for us and how much our life just sucks, then guess what? Your life probably sucks. If, on the other hand, you're constantly speaking words of power and affirmation into your life, then you are going to have those things start showing up. Now, you've maybe heard before people talking about how powerful journaling is. And this is why. I actually even liked, sometimes, I used to have this beautiful pen, but I don't know what happened to it. I'm going to have to get a new one. But I used to have this beautiful pen that I even would imagine everything that I wrote down, it was like a wand, right? Like everything that I wrote down in my journal was, I was speaking it into existence. I was putting it on the paper, and that it was happening. And I can go back, and I bet you can too, of times that I have journaled and written down things that I wanted, or things that I was, or were, happening, or what I was feeling, or where I was going in my life. And I can look back at those things and I can see that they have happened. Honestly, some of them blow my mind. And I bet you have that too in your life if you look back over it. Things that you said over and over again, situations that you were like talking about a lot, or whatever, they happen. And it is such an amazing, exciting thing, but it's also kind of scary if we're not doing it on purpose, if we're not consciously choosing carefully the words that we use in an everyday basis. So I have a couple that I wrote down here, a couple of the affirmations that I pulled out of the Flow book that I wanted to talk about and kind of like really bring this home to everything. So there is this idea that we have to be reasonable with what we want, that we have to really just kind of like think about in setting goals or in creating what we want to see in the world. There's this idea that we have to do something or say something or set a goal that is realistic or reasonable. And I want to kind of spin that on its head a little bit and say that yes, we should set goals that we think we really could achieve. But if you have a desire in your heart, it is my belief that you have everything that you need to achieve that goal or desire. But the reasoning mind starts to try to talk us out of it. We reason with ourselves all day, every day about why or why not we can or cannot have the goal that we want or the dream that we want. And so here is one of my favorite from the book that I wrote down that I wanted to share with you today. And it is, I gotta read it. Drown the reasoning mind with your affirmations. Jehoshaphat clapped his cymbals so that he wouldn't hear himself think. So what that means to me is talking about your affirmations or your stories that you tell yourself every day. Drown the reasoning mind with the new stories that you want for your life. Speak what you want in your life into existence instead of dwelling on the reasoning mind and what the reasoning mind thinks is reasonable for your life or the things that you don't want. Stop dwelling on those things and replace the negativity or the reasoning mind with powerful affirmations that really start to empower you to create what you want to see in the world, to create your goals, to achieve your goals. So what does that mean about clapping the cymbals? And it's like, if you are constantly repeating the same affirmation, yes, I'm clapping, or clapping your hands or your cymbals or whatever, when you get into self-doubt, when you get into fear, when you get into some of those things that make you feel like you can't, or like you're not good enough, or like you're never going to get there, clap your cymbals of your new story or your new affirmation and replace those old stories. Stop saying the things you don't want. Stop talking about them. You're literally giving them life when you do that. Stop it and tell yourself to stop it. Clap those cymbals and really get rid of that reasoning mind, the doubt and the fear and all of that starts to creep in for you, and really start to speak your words into existence. Speak your life into existence. Realize that you are a powerful creator and that you have been given by God or spirit, the universe, whatever you want to say. You've been given everything that you need to reach your goals, to create your dreams. So stop telling yourself reasonable things that make you feel like you can't do it and start clapping the cymbal of yes, the affirmations that say that you can. And again, back to the book, if you need help thinking of affirmations, there are a bajillion million, that's not even a number, but whatever, maybe it is, I don't know, in here that can help you to replace the old ones. I talk about this all the time. Here is one of my very, very favorites that I say all the time. I have a magical work in a magical way. I give magical service for magical pay. Or here's another one. The genius within me is now released. I now fulfill my destiny. Okay, one more. The tide of destiny has turned and everything comes my way. Isn't that such a more powerful thing to start really drilling into your head every day versus, I can't do this. I'm not enough. I'm not ready yet. I can't do it. Yes, you can. Start speaking your life into existence because your word is your wand. Have a beautiful, magical rest of your day, and I will talk to you next week.